All right. So the brand new month, everybody ending last month yesterday with like incredible things that they've achieved. And I was thinking about how we're moving into leaders retreat. And I was remembering this girl on my team. Maybe I should protect the innocent and not say any names, but she worked so hard within that first 2 years and she earned leaders retreat on the cruise. I remember seeing her like post videos of her meeting Alec and Tarl on the cruise and just like taking her husband and have this incredible experience they would have never had otherwise. And I'm going to tell you that filled her cup so much that in the future, when she hit hard times, when she hit rank and then have to work the next month, or maybe somebody was going through a hard time in their business, whenever she hit some stumbling block, I feel like she drew back on the memories of that trip and what it did for her belief and how much it meant to her and her family. And so I'm going to encourage anybody that's thinking, I don't know, it like sounds like a lot of work. Like if you actually care about your belief, if you actually care about having something to lean into when you go through hard times, I feel like the Leaders Retreat trip is that thing. So go for it. Sarah, I'm gonna pass it to you.
Absolutely. So to totally spin off of that, we are launching May 1st because we've got Leaders Retreat. We want to front load this contest for lots of reasons, but we are going to listen to one of the Silver and Six series updated videos with Emily Burgess because it's a spinoff of what we listened to with Tamara last week. And we are going to be printing up this PDF that an amazing Jewel developed for us. I want you to, before we listen to the video, I want you to listen to these questions because it is so relevant and it all pertains and wraps together. 1, if you are setting the goal for earning Leaders Retreat, why do you want to earn Leaders Retreat? And this could be, I've never been on a cruise. I couldn't afford a honeymoon. I want to take my family on a trip. There could be, but you have to say, why do I want to earn this? And it has to be something tangible and real for what that answer is. Number 2, what prize are you working towards? I just want you to remember, if you set the goal for Leaders Retreat, and if by some chance you miss that or miss the boat with how they are doing this, you will still earn over $4,000 in commissions over the life of this contest. And that is something to be celebrated. So I want you to think about, what am I working towards and why for the prize levels? Number 3, how would you need to show up to reach that goal? Remember, we talked about a long time ago, expectation versus reality for I'm setting this goal, but this is what I'm willing to do. And that willing to and want to has to line up. And it might be, I want this, but I'm not willing to do the IPA and the winning the day and all of the things. So is your willing to and wanting to lining up for what you need to be and how you need to show up to reach the goal that you are setting? All great things for the first of the month to think about. And what will your business look like come September when you do reach these goals? And that is something so exciting. I'm going to post some old graphics in a little bit about, like, if you want to be Ruby, you need 5 gold leader legs, like thinking about, who are the people that I want to be a part of this with me? Who do I want to go on a cruise with? Who are those people who are going to work together and run with me so that we can all set this goal together? But what will my business look like come September? Some of you, it'll be huge rank ups to Ruby, Senior Ruby, even Emerald and beyond. When you decide to set the goal, do the work, show up as that person, and get ready to rock and roll for what that business is going to look like. So we are going to listen to 14 minutes of Emily Burgess because we need grit and we need commitment. And she's going to share all of the reasons why now as we're looking ahead to what we need to be doing for this contest. So Jennifer, I'm going to let you cue that up and we will chat about this when we stop afterwards.
All righty, here we go. Full screen, press play.
You guys, my name is Emily Burgess, and I am getting to talk to you today about something that I am super passionate about, which is really funny because, like Tamara said in the video a few days ago, she pursued me and I was super skeptical for 4 years. So much so that I threw the products, the samples that she sent me, in the trash because I just was so skeptical. And so now the fact that I get to talk to you all about a subject topic that I'm so passionate about is hilarious. That topic is grit and commitment. when it comes to your Plexus business. Now, some of you might be here because you just want to get your products paid for. Some of you might be here where, you know what, you want to get your family's products paid for, or you want to be able to help your family where you're paying the mortgage every month. Or some of you might be here because you're saying, you know what, like I want to change things for my family. I want to change things for people all around me, and I'm going all the way to the top. So I wanted to talk with you a little bit about my story. So like you heard with Tamara, she pursued me for 4 years. I ignored her months on end through the samples that she sent me away in the trash. Was super skeptical because I didn't want to be that girl. I was so afraid of what people would think. I desperately needed the products. Our family desperately needed the extra income, but I was so afraid of what other people would think. I care so much about relationships. I care so much about people that I did not want anyone ever to feel like I was befriending them for the sake of my business, because I wanted to make a couple dollars off of them. So that's where I'm coming to you from, because the thing is, you can do this business.
Really?
Wayfair's got just what you need.
How does that even happen?
Dog friendly.
Really well. And you can do this business in an honorable way where people do not feel like you were just trying to make a buck off of them. But that comes with grit and commitment from what I have experienced. So when I started my business, a few things that I did, all the things you guys have seen here, like the belief, the mindset, putting together your Frank's list, doing some training, sending out messages, following up, all of those things I was doing because I was coachable. My upline, who's Tamara, who was very successful, said, hey, you need to do this. I trusted her because she had proved her credibility over those 4 years. She had shown me that she was successful, and she believed in me, and she believed in what she was doing, but she wasn't waiting for me. She was moving ahead, full steam ahead. And if I wanted to join, I could jump on it anytime, but she was going somewhere. So she naturally built that belief and that grit and that commitment. She showed me that this was not a short term or a quick fix, get rich fast type of thing. It took commitment, it took resilience, it took tenacity, because over those 4 years, I was a tough case. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't respond to her for 18 months, or towards the end of the time, I would say, okay, I'm ready to order. And then she'd send me information. And then 2 weeks later, she'd be like, hey, checking in, how are you doing? And then I'd ignore her again. And, it just is a cycle. So she showed me what it looked like to be a good friend and a good leader, to be patient, to not push, to not pressure, but also to not stop, to continue to have that grit and commitment and that tenacity. So I wanted to share with you, when I got started, I was doing all of those things. But before I did that, I sat down with my family and we started to dream. So that's a challenge that I have for you. If you have not done that, I really encourage you to sit down with your loved ones and you guys dream. So for me and my family, for example, I really wanted to get my daughters into extracurricular activities without having to tap into our savings account, or without having to get into our grocery budget. I wanted to have some sort of extra margin. So that to me was a small goal. I also wanted to get my family on the products, and that was a little bit larger of a goal, but I was having just some small goals as well as some really large ones. I wanted to treat my family to Disney World. I wanted to be able to go and see my in-laws and take my whole family, fly across the country to go see our family. We wanted to buy a home in our dream neighborhood. We wanted to be able to travel over to England and serve at a missionary bed and breakfast. We wanted to be able to retire my husband from his 9 to 5 so he could go and pursue his own writing and his own dreams. So we had a whole list of these dreams with my daughters involved. They got to share, we want to go to the zoo, to my husband, to myself. Like, we just sat and we dreamed. And I wrote those down, and I had laser focus of, this is what I want. And I'll tell you, I have some friends that have done this, where they will say, you know what, I just want a little extra spending money. And that really is great. That's fine. But that was kind of the only thing that they had holding them here doing this. And so when things got hard, or when the comfort zones were needing to be stretched a little, or it was choosing sitting down to work for 30 minutes versus sitting down and watching Netflix and just chilling for a couple of hours, they didn't have like a strong, tangible, visible ambition or goal or why that was driving them to do the hard things. That's where grit and commitment come in, because you're going to have days that are hard. You're going to have days where you're not motivated, where you're not having wins, where you might sit down, you're like, I don't even know what to do. I don't have anybody to reach out to. I'm just going to go vacuum because that brings me instant gratification. So you're going to have days where you're going to have to make the choice to show up. Now, this is me talking as somebody that wanted to go all the way to the top, but this is still my guidance to you. If you are wanting to go silver right now, you've got to show up, but you've got to have a really strong foundation of grit and commitment and belief. And I believe that those things come from, let me take a look at my notes here, having value, finding value in what you're doing. Because if you know what you're doing, and if you feel like you have a purpose in what you're doing, you're going to show up more.
It's hard to believe that Mint Mobile can be good at just $15 a month. So as Mint's new owner,
especially when that purpose and that vision helps other people. So you have an understanding of what you're doing, understanding what this could be for you and your family. So if you are unaware of the opportunities at hand, go and watch some Diamond Docs. Go get inspired. Dream about what this could be for your family. I encourage you, dream outside of just getting your products paid for, because there's so much freedom that has come from this business, for my family, for our finances, and not just us, for thousands and thousands of other people. So I encourage you to dream big here. Another thing is to have an understanding and awareness that you will have obstacles. As you're sharing this, it's really easy to get into your head. It's really easy to maybe see somebody make a comment on social media that's not super in support of network marketing. You might have a family member who's not in support of what you're doing. I want to tell you something. I had my sister and her husband, my flesh and blood, unfollow me on social media for over 3 years because I was doing Plexus. It was heartbreaking. I had other family members in the same boat, and it was heartbreaking. But I want to tell you, my dad said to me, go prove them wrong. Prove them that you mean what you're sharing. And now my sister signed up with me in 2020 as a Plexus ambassador. She's had beautiful health changes, as has her husband, and she's now a Ruby ambassador. So you might have these obstacles that are coming up. You might have people that you're reaching out to, like from Jessica's first guidance. You might be reaching out to people, your best friends, and they're like, nope, don't want to do that. I want to encourage you to not let that ruin your day. Bob Goff, in one of my favorite books called Dream Big, he says, just because I've received a couple of no's doesn't mean I'm going to abandon an ambition, or in our case, a goal or a dream that we have here. He says, don't you dare stop either. No miner strikes gold with the first swing of the pick. So I just encourage you, like, you're at the very beginning of this. Enjoy it, learn from it, grow from it, stretch your comfort zone, but have those understandings of what you're doing has such purpose. And it goes so much beyond you. The beautiful thing with this business is that it's this gorgeous ripple effect. If I share something, and it's helped my mom, who is an insomniac for 30 years, to now be able to sleep deep. And then she goes and she shares it with a friend, and that friend shares it with a friend. Like this beautiful, life-changing ripple effect because of you saying yes and you doing the hard things. So understanding that there is a purpose in what you're doing here. Having visual, tangible goals in sight, small all the way to large. Again, Bob Goff, he says it's important to have a variety of small and large ambitions. Small ambitions give small wins, which will always give you momentum that you need to carry towards those larger ambitions. So go and celebrate that you reached out to 3 people today. Go celebrate that you watched this training video and then get into action. Go celebrate that you have a friend that wants to do this with you and that you guys get to learn together and you get to have this accountability to get healthy together. And who knows, maybe put a little money in your pocket to help your child go and play softball this spring, whatever it is, go and celebrate. I also want you to, as you're in this now and you are focusing on this grit and commitment, I want you to dissect what's going on in your head. What are you telling yourself? I know for me, this is a silly thing as I think back to it, but I'd been showing up to the business for a month and I was all in. Like I had made up my mind, if I'm doing this, I'm going to be successful. I know it's going to take time. I know it's going to be hard work and I'm okay with that, but I'm going to do it. And so I did what Jessica said. I reached out to my dearest of friends. And to me, that was the scariest. It was so much easier to reach out to people I didn't really know, or I didn't really have a relationship with, but I reached out to a lot of my good friends. And I'll tell you, none of them joined me. So if you're in that place, know that that's okay. You still can be extremely successful if none of your dear friends joined you. But I want you to dissect what's in your head, because I know my first month, I'd worked really hard and I was just feeling the weight of it. And I had worked up the nerve to send one of my bridesmaids a text message. I knew that her husband had really bad migraines. I also knew that because of his ailments, he wasn't able to show up and be a dad. He wasn't able to show up and be a husband. And so my friend was doing double the parenting work. And I knew that these supplements could help him. And I was so scared. I remember sitting in my laundry room, my heart was racing. I was like sweating, gushing like a shower, like sweat out of my armpits, scared to death. And I think I just sent her a text message that said, hey, blank, don't know if this is anything that you guys have looked into, but I know that your husband blank struggles with some migraines. And I've heard that these products help. Would you be interested in me giving you any information on it? And I was so scared. I pushed send, I'm like praying, I'm like almost in tears. And then a few minutes later, I get a text message and all it says is, no, thank you. Well, to a normal person, it'd be like, okay, all right, that's fine. I lost it. I just started bawling and bawling and bawling. And I cried 6 times that day. And I remember getting in touch with Tamara and just saying, this is hard. This is not fun. I had questions and thoughts of like, maybe I should quit. And I remember her telling me the first couple of months are the hardest, just as it is with any job. You have these learning curves. You're learning and consuming all of this new information one step at a time. Just do it one step at a time. Your dreams and your ambitions and your goals and your family, it's worth the effort. It's worth the nose. It's worth dusting, like shaking off the dust and getting back up on that horse again. And I'm here to tell you 1,000,000%, it is worth it. There's a really great quote by Jim Rohn. And he says, the more obstacles you face and overcome, the more times you falter and get back on track, the more difficulties you struggle with and conquer, the more resiliency you will naturally develop. There is nothing that can hold you back if you are resilient. That's a grit. That's commitment. Commit to yourself. Commit to your family. Again, no matter what your goal is, if it's just to get your products paid for, or if it's to go all the way to the top and go open up an orphanage in Africa, have that resiliency. Understand the purpose of what you're doing. It's far bigger and beyond you. Connect with your loved ones. Go and do that today. That's my challenge. Go and do that. Connect with your loved ones and dream. Watch one of the diamond documentaries from one of these leaders here. All of us are diamonds that you're getting trained by. We all have diamond documentaries. Go and watch one with your spouse, with your family, and dream. And then I want you to be aware that you will have obstacles, but just like Bob Goff says, just like Jim Rohn says, and anybody else who has seen success, success is harder and it takes longer than you expect, but everything worthwhile is uphill. And you will never regret going all in and sacrificing and learning and growing your comfort zone, because your ambitions, your goals, and your family are absolutely worth it.
So good.
I spent 15 years of
Sorry. Stop share. There you go. Uh-oh, you're muted.
Those
Thank
dang ads, like YouTube's gonna get their money no matter what. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, Emily is amazing. I love her story. I love how real she is. Raise your hand if you've ever been there with like the sending messages and sweating buckets and freaking out when they say yes or no or yes. See, we're all in that. I actually have 3 people on my list that I still have not clicked send. Like I've written the message so many times and I'm scared cat. So just so you know, 12 years in, like we all have those people, but just remember that that's the first seed that was planted and just asking. If you don't ask, you'll never know, right? And the fact that her sister unfriended her and unfollowed her for years, all the things, like we're all in this together. A few notes that I just wanted to say is just remember that if you're always leading with the products, you might always be finding a lot of really sick people that just need help, which is good. But I want to challenge you to also lead with the business and look for people who are passionate and committed about all the things. And when she said, dream outside of getting your products paid for, that hit me upside the head because I have defaulted regularly to, I can share the reset, I can share a good before and after, right? Everybody wants weight loss. And so I do know that these products are helping people, but I do know that we need this business opportunity to help people as well. So don't be scared to reach out for the business as well. Okay, so it's May 1st, and we are going to talk really quick about all things Leaders Retreat. Here is what I want you guys to understand with strategy. Front loading this contest is the key, okay? They made it so that retention credits in the months to follow is where a very large majority of your points are going to be showing up. So if you don't have a lot of new VIPs that you're retaining, at the end, you're going to be like, wait a second, why are all of these people earning all of the things? And it'll be like, oh my gosh, May 1st, I really, really, really should have added 3, done all of those things. So in order to be as successful as possible, we need to get to work with front loading as much as we can. So I want you guys to treat this first week of May and the first month of this contest like it's your last week, do or die. We are on this boat no matter what, because it very well will come down to your spot on the boat will be determined when the month rolls over and all of those retention credits kick in versus the people who do not have a lot of that. So customer care, working on follow-up, all of those things, you need to be going back to March 1st. Anybody that joined in March will also be, I'm getting a Zoom update. If I lose you guys, then just carry on with winning the day. But my computer just said it was going to update Zoom. We need to be remembering that it's carrying over. So everybody that was new in March and all of your new VIPs in April, we should be working with them on getting on their products, staying consistent with their products, looking at the new combos that were just launched this morning, the triplex with the double lean, gut health, all of the things, making sure that they are ordering and staying consistent and figuring out what they need. If you need to add to their orders to make sure that their subscriptions are firing. Now, if they joined in March and did not order in April, it's okay. If you get them back on track and ordering in May, you will get retention credits for them. To earn this Leaders Retreat, I want to challenge you. This Silver and 6 series is brilliant because we all need to be going silver every month, bare minimum. Bare minimum recruiting 3 to 6 new level 1s every single month of this contest, and then helping your new people to also go silver, which is why I love the back to the basics, the winning the day, all of these things. We post, we add value, we plant seeds, we follow up, we do 3-way messages, we ask, we make recommendations. All of those things don't change. And from watching all of y'all shout outs on our Power Hour chat, you guys are really, really good at doing those basic things, but it's now getting our new people to do that and have that start to duplicate down. Does anybody have any comments or thoughts really quick on Emily's video or the Leaders Retreat, which, by the way, if you got your email, the front loading concept is going to be huge because they have decided to start the contest with double credits. So when we print out our worksheets and you guys are doing all of the things for May, it is going to be doubled for what you can earn on. So there's a PDF that I posted last week and I will post it again. And it has the questions that I read from. Karen, I'll see if I can do the file. There's a Jewel that made this file. Here's the cruise, here's all the credits you need. And then step one is, page one is how you earn. And then the questions that I asked you guys, and then it's literally 49 days of winning the day. Who am I reaching out to? Who am I following up with? Consistency perks, names of your new VIPs so you can be checking in with them, and all of the things. Jill, I'll have to get clarification on that. I think it's just starting May 1st. And if somebody could add Karen to our Power Hour chat, that would be amazing. So anyway, comments, questions, thoughts? Otherwise, we've got
Sarah, I have a question.
Okay.
On those points from March, like if they did order in April, do we get retention points for them ordering in April, or was that a backup for then starting now?
I believe that's how it is, but let me tell you what, the FAQs and the details is like 15 amazing pages of anything possible. So we'll just have to
Okay.
go back through and double check all of that.
All right, thank you.
Yes. Okay, very good. Yes, retention starts in May, but it will count for the VIPs that you enrolled in March and April. Very good. Thank you guys for clarifying that. So I loved what she said, dream outside of getting your products paid for. If you can set that goal, I mean, heck, let's all set the goal for the shopping spree, right? Shoot for the moon and you'll fall among the stars. Isn't that how the quote goes? And if you've never been on a Plexus shopping spree where they hand you a gift card loaded with thousands of dollars and you just get to go crazy I mean, it's absolutely the most amazing experience you will ever, it's incredible. So I want us to take 5 minutes and thank you for reposting the questions. What's your goal? What's your dream and why do you want to earn this? What do you need to do to show up? I was very vulnerable in my stories this morning. Why do I have to keep having a before picture? Because I set the habits, I do the work, I hit the goal, and then I say, good job. And then I stop doing what I was doing that got me there. And then I get really frustrated when I start to slide back, business and personal. So here I am recommitting to my 10-minute dumbbell workouts, my 20-minute Peloton. I mean, they weren't hard things that I was doing. And then I hurt my shoulder, all this, I gave it all up. And I'm like, well, dang, now this morning, I'm not feeling so great about my goals and where I was. But think about business wise, did you hit gold? And now you're like, oh gosh, I only had 64 points at the end of last month. Or did you hit senior gold in Ruby? And you're like, where did everybody go? Maybe you stopped posting. Maybe you stopped getting into messages. Maybe you stopped inviting. Maybe you stopped being intentional and proactive. And maybe you started sliding back into management mode. So for me, how do I need to show up to reach that goal? This question for me is like stars, asterisks, underlined. What are those daily habits and actions that I need to be working on or continuing that got me, you know, a certain step? Or what do I need to do to grow past that? And then what's your business going to look like? Dream big, you guys. There's nothing better. And I can post some pictures from the 2018 cruise. When you're on that pool deck and you've got, you know, 15 of your team members surrounding you. Lisa, just so you know, you're not muted. Heads up. So you guys can just start dreaming and imagining that. And here's what I'm going to tell you. I get deathly seasick. And Plexus cruises are worth me stepping onto those ships. Like, I cannot believe I'm excited to set my goal to be there when like I have to take all the drugs and all the things to not be heaving overboard. So anyway, you know it's good if I'm also committing to getting on that ship. Okay, Babette, one more question.
Okay, I put it in there. Do people's orders count like our previous people that we didn't get in before March?
Not for
Or
leaders.
only,
Yeah,
only
not
for March
leaders.
on?
Yeah, not for leaders.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you.
Awesome. And like I said, the help center, and like if you click on the May 1st email, it says leaders contest, like it has the whole thing laid out black and white with every last detail and all of the things. And yes, I will put the questions in I'll give you guys this printout and all the things. So 5 minutes, we will answer the questions. You guys really need to say, where am I? Where do I want to be? What am I going to do? What goal am I setting? And who's going shopping? All the things. This is a lead by example contest. Heavy, heavy, heavy in the level 1 recruiting and developing, ranking up, holding rank, and retaining all of your new people. This is going to be a new massive wave of momentum for our entire company. And I'm here for it all. Did y'all miss me? I got dropped off the Zoom. You guys are working so diligently, you didn't even know. That's all good. Grit and determination sometimes means figuring out how the heck to get your internet at home to work. So I'm back on my phone. Okay, so we've got just a few more minutes left. And I want your challenge when we get off of this. If you set your goal for Leaders Retreat and you answered the questions, I want you to get with your sponsor or your working Jewel upline or a passionate sideline or a level 1 downline, and have this conversation. Like, make it known that you set this goal and what you're working towards. For one, just to say it out loud and to name it and claim it, but also for that accountability piece. And then just really starting to dream and envision, you know, what could this look like? Like I said, I'm just super excited, and setting those goals, what that could do for your business and for your financial goals as well. So dream big, because I think it's going to be amazing. Convention is going to be here before we know it. And in this challenge, I'm going to add, if you are not getting in your stories or making a live, I'm going to challenge you to do that today. I have 4 team members who all went live the last 2 days of the month, and all 4 of them signed a new level 1 off of that Facebook Live, just saying, here I am, this is what I'm doing. I'm going to work towards a cruise. Who wants to cruise with me? Who wants to hear about what I'm doing or why you could even earn a cruise? And so it just piqued enough curiosity. Facebook Live changes the engagement of who's following you on social media. So I'm going to challenge everybody to do that. I used to go live every Monday. I used to do lots of lives, and I don't do them anymore. So I am also going to challenge myself to get on and do a live. But if a live terrifies you, that's okay. Practice in stories first, just showing up, doing little, 10, 15-second clips in your story. So show your face, let people know what you're doing and why. I'm super excited. We'll get through this whole Silver and Six. I used to say that too, Christy, but here's the thing. People want to see you real and showing up. I'm still stinky from working out. I did put lipstick on for y'all, but you do not have to take a shower and do your hair. That was my big excuse for, one of the Silver in 6 videos, she actually, a diamond, did the whole training from her bathrobe. So give me what else you got. Come on. I got you. Come on. I'll handle objections with you all day. So anyway, go live, get in your story, be real. People like to see that you don't have it all figured out and that your counter isn't cleared off and all the things. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you, Jennifer, for relieving my screen sharing anxiety and taking care of all of that for me. And let's get to work. Ready, set, go. Happy May.